complex language of the Mayan people, hieroglyphs. Deciphering an ancient language can be extremely difficult. Language is expressed in all cultures, whether through words, sounds, or symbols. The language of the Mayan people is complex and made of unique symbols. These symbols tell many stories and hold much insight into the lives of Mayans. The origin of the hieroglyphs is found carved in the stone of southern Mexico and Central America. Although no longer living in cities made of stone, part of the Mayan civilization lives today in the country of Guatemala, over 6 million people to be exact. The Mayan people speak 30 Mayan languages. Other than ancient language being left behind, certain traditions are practiced based on a ritual calendar used for more than 2,000 years. They practiced a tradition from the calendar named 8 Bats. The hieroglyphs were discovered in 1785 by Jose Calderon in the jungle Mayan city of Pelican. He attempted to record the symbols, but failed. Calderon was simply trying to record his findings, but the first attempt to understanding the hieroglyphs was by John Frederick Galdec in 1832. His attempt was misleading, resulting in the idea that the hieroglyphs were created by the Babylonians, physicians, or Hindus. These misinterpretations of the symbols happened many times, proving just how truly complex the ancient text was. The symbols alone are unique, but the formation of the symbols together is just as unique. Single symbols could be merged to create new meanings. The symbols are also placed into 2 columns. The symbols are then read beginning at the bottom from left to right. From the video, Mayan hieroglyphs instructor and facilitator of hieroglyphs Jorge de Leon explains that the intricate symbols have been extremely hard to decode, but after hundreds of years of research, they can now be read. De Leon mentions that in 2016, archaeologists discovered new artifacts in Belize that had hieroglyphics carved into them. These artifacts revealed more information about the Mayan people. Even with the vast understanding of the language, there is still so much more to discover and understand. I was intrigued by the information expressed in Breaking the Maya Code. I was briefly introduced into Maya hieroglyphics when I was younger, but since then it had not been a topic I had given much more thought to. I was surprised to learn that the glyphs were not always just single symbols, rather they are a completion of symbols. The time and creativity that is placed into these symbols really blew my mind. It makes me wonder where these images for these symbols came from and why they are used to represent specific ideas. Hieroglyphics have been studied by many people and for years. Even after all this time, there is so much left to be discovered. I found it sad to learn that the Spanish took over the Mayan civilization and started to convert them into Christianity. The Mayan boys were then taught the European script, and the Mayan language slowly faded. It appears because the Mayans were forced into a new culture that theirs came to a sudden stop. This could have led to why hieroglyphs were so mysterious. There was an interest in the glyphs, but only for them to be left behind. I am glad that the glyphs are still deeply studied. They belong to a civilization that seemed to be so complex.